welcome to episode 534 of the Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast. I'm Sean.
I'm Ian, and this is the only podcast that says
Nibbling on sponge cake, watching the sun bake, all of those tourists covered in oil, strumming my six string, on my front porch swing, the smell of those shrimp, they're beginning to boil. R.I.P. Jimmy Buffett.
I don't care. No,
I know you don't. I do though. Like, I feel like
I've never been to a Jimmy Buffett show.
Neither have I.
I liked his music. Okay, it's not like, you know.
I liked his music a lot. Like, I went through like a Jimmy Buffett phase where it was like, in my mind, I was seriously considering like a life of like living on the beach, having like my own boat and taking tourists on like tours of like some cove in Florida and making up like pirate stories. Yeah, like, wow. Yeah, like in my head, it was just like there was like a little bit of time where I was like, man, I could do that. Like I could live that life. And then, you know, you drink, you know, bottled beer and chill like the rest of the day. Like, you know, you just make enough money to, you know, pay shit off, and then you do your thing.
Yeah.
You know. Nah, that shit doesn't work. I hate to break it to people, but but it would have been a good life, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do love
a lot of groupies there.
A lot of groupies were probably at Jimmy Buffett concerts, yes.
A lot of sluts went to the Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Yeah. This week on Slutcast.
Yeah.
GNR visited.
Yeah.
Your best chance.
Well, I'm not going to call them sluts, but women of, you know, inappropriate drinking. Did you see the fight at PNC Park the other night?
No, I didn't. Was it crazy?
There was like, it was like, so there's some country artist. I don't even know the name of the country artist. So some country artist was in town for 2 nights at PNC Park.
Oh, at the porta potty thing?
Yeah. Oh, that was tremendous. That was tremendous. I mean, that girl came in the white onesie and just like went full on Stone Cold Steve Austin on those girls, like just pulling bitches out of the porta potty, wailing on them. I mean, it was amazing. I have never seen something like that in my life. It was shocking. Apparently, this is what happens. I don't know.
This is what goes on in the world.
Yeah.
Porta potty brawls.
Yeah. I no clue why, but that's what's going on. So that was funny to me.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. I saw. I mean, of course, it's something. Today it's something. I think it was on Twitter though. Unfortunately, so you probably didn't see it. Like, but somebody took that and like they added some like old school Jim Ross WWE commentary to it. It was tremendous. You know.
That's fun.
Yeah. So how you been?
Working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been enjoying some time off.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Yeah.
You know, all I've been doing is working.
Ugh.
Working, and I don't know what I've been doing. Going crazy.
Well, it's given me an opportunity to watch a few things. Like some things I wanted to, they were like on my list, like I really like to watch that, but I don't want to dedicate the time to it, but I had the time, so I dedicated to it. First off, I went back and I rewatched for the first time since it debuted Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Oh, God.
The 4-hour opus that is Zack Snyder's Justice League. And that's the problem with that movie. Like, in all honesty, like I do like rewatching movies. I know you like rewatching movies from time to time. Like, we have our favorites that we go back to all the time. And this would probably be one of them, except for the fact that it's 4 fucking hours. It's the same reason why I haven't gone back and watched the official director's version of the Lord of the Rings because I don't have 12 hours in a day to dedicate to it.
Right, right.
That's a hard watch, worth it, but it's a hard watch. It's the same thing with this. I mean, it's a 4-hour sit down. And I'm the type, I don't like to watch a movie halfway through and then come back to it. Even if it is 4 hours. Now, an intermission was necessary. Like, I needed, like, I'm going to stop here. I'm about the 2-hour mark. I'm going to get myself a bite to eat. I'm going to urinate. I'm going to get ready for the second 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I did do that, but, like, I hate, like, watching a movie and stopping and trying to come back to it.
Yeah.
Like, there is something about a movie that I feel like I have to watch it almost, like, continuously through in one sitting.
Okay.
So, like, to me, like, watching 2 hours that, coming back and watching the second 2 hours at a later date, like, it doesn't work for me.
Right.
Even though it probably could, it just, for me, it's like, it just doesn't feel right. Even though it is a 4-hour.
Yeah.
Oh, I will say this, upon revisiting it, I really enjoyed it still.
Yeah.
Like, it held up.
Mm.
Like you'd think, like, maybe a couple years later, and with everything else like, it'd be like, oh man, this isn't as good as I remember. But it was. It really was. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad I sat through it again.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know when I'm going to watch it again.
Yeah.
Maybe I come back to it again in 2 more years and say, like, okay, let's see how you hold up now.
Yeah.
But for this time, like, I thought Wednesday was a good day to watch it. It was a fun watch. I enjoyed it. I liked everything about it, and I'm happy I sat through it again.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good. I watched The Flash.
Did you? What'd you think?
It was all right.
Yeah.
It kind of let me down in a way. I think I had bigger expectations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I think I tempered my expectations.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's why I maybe enjoyed it a little bit more, because I was like, yeah, I'm not expecting a ton out of this.
Yeah.
And I think, like, it had such and it was like that weird thing of, like, so many people were like, oh, this is fucking garbage, or this is fucking amazing. And I was like, I'll bet it's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna, I enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah.
Like, what let you down about it?
I don't know. The whole movie. Just
Okay.
the vibe.
Okay.
I thought it was going to be a little different. I don't know. I mean, I thought it was okay. I thought it was good.
I think Keaton was fantastic.
Yeah, I did too. So was Affleck. Affleck.
Yeah. I said that last week. Like, it bums me out that he's never going to play Batman again, because you can see he's been figuring it out.
Yeah, it's him. So I liked Affleck.
And it also pisses me off. Like, here's the thing, like, and even, like, in Zack Snyder's Justice League, like, the whole thing of, like, let's resurrect Superman.
Yeah.
Like, Batman would have been like, no, this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
And no, it's his idea in both versions.
Mm.
I mean, in the Zack Snyder, it's like the entire team's kind of like, and then later on, like, Aquaman's like, maybe this is a bad idea. But, like, Batman from the start would have been like, no. And it showed in the Flash, where he's like, Barry, you're fucking with time.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
And like that's like, I'm like, man, okay, yeah, that's Batman would definitely say that to him.
Yeah.
There's not a doubt in my mind. Batman would be like, man, maybe you shouldn't do this.
Yeah. Yeah, Keaton was great.
Now, spoilers for those who haven't seen it. But did you like the very ending?
With Clooney?
Yeah.
Yeah, it made sense.
Okay.
As far as if he's jumping universes,
right.
It makes sense.
Even like this, the by freeing your father, by moving the cans, and now the footage is clear, it still disrupts the timeline, and you have a different Batman, and you get Clooney now.
Yeah.
There apparently has been released in the original version. They don't reveal that.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's like, it ends with Barry saying, "Who the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
and then it goes
Yeah.
to the credits.
I don't mind ever. I didn't ever mind that Clooney was Batman. I thought Clooney was a good Batman. Just the movie was horrible.
Yeah, going all the way back, and if you can't catch them because they're not online, but if you ever wanted, I could try to find them for you. Like, we used to have a super fan named Cindy, who used to pound us that Clooney was the best Batman. Mm-hmm. No, he wasn't. I mean, the movie's fucking horrible, but I could see where Clooney would have been a good Batman.
Oh yeah.
Like I was excited when they announced Clooney was going to be Batman.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that movie was just complete and total fucking garbage.
Yeah.
So, I wasn't it, and especially knowing it's just, this is it, it's over, it's done, we're moving on, we're wiping the slate clean. So to bring back Clooney, that let him have that moment, I was cool with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was okay, yeah, that works for me. There were the other things, the Superman, the Christopher Reeve Superman and Supergirl Helen Slater, seeing Nicolas Cage's Superman fighting the giant spider was hysterically funny. Seeing Adam West's Batman is all part of this multiverse that was collapsing. That stuff was kind of interesting. Even they had a Golden Age Flash, which I thought was cool. It was little things like that I enjoyed, and but Keaton's Batman was just so fucking cool.
I know. Yeah, he was right back in the part again.
Yeah.
It's it
the
never
mannerisms and everything,
Yeah. Yeah, it's he never left it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is. It's hard to believe. I mean, he hasn't played the character in 30 years, but it was. And somebody's gonna be like, "Well, it's called acting, Sean." Well, I get that, but still, there's something about the way Keaton plays that character and the way it translated, and even you pick up on him almost instantaneously when he's doing this. So you came back in time and you changed things. And he starts talking about it, and the way he's doing it with the spaghetti and everything. I'm fuck, he's right back in it. This is fucking Keaton Batman.
Yeah, yeah, I liked it.
Yeah,
yeah, he was the bright spot of that movie for me. Any screen time he had was good.
Yeah, I did like their version of Supergirl.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I thought. I don't want to say she stole the movie because she didn't, but it was wow, I really would have liked to have seen more of that.
Yeah.
That, her character intrigued me, and with Zod being yeah, we found the infant, he didn't survive the procedure. I was oh shit, fuck, it was really, really interesting and well done, and yeah, I wish there had been a scene in the Batmobile, but I'll take what I can get.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought overall, I mean, I had fun with it. I enjoyed it. Is it the greatest comic book movie ever made? Fuck no.
Right.
I wouldn't even say it's the best DC movie ever made. But I mean, it was good. I don't think it was as bad as people said, but I also don't think it was as good as people said.
I agree. I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, I get where you can say you were disappointed because, maybe you wanted a little bit more of Affleck, maybe you wanted a little bit more of Keaton, and you didn't get as much as you wanted.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the thing. It was I get it's the Flash and it's his movie, but you're with Ezra Miller, where I'm just still creeper.
I
Yeah. We're Affleck and Keaton. I'm man, I would have loved to have gotten more of those guys.
Yeah, for sure.
But
yeah,
que sera.
Ahsoka.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to talk about that. If you're angry fit. So have you watched all 3 episodes?
All 3.
Okay. I'm going to ask you something because I am very curious about this. As somebody who hasn't watched Clone Wars and Rebels, how confused are you?
I'm not that confused because I did watch some of
Okay.
Clone Wars and Rebels.
Okay.
So I'm not that confused.
Okay.
I understand his death, and you know what I mean. Like I understand the pieces of where they're at. I'm reading up on where they were.
Okay. Because I'm watching it, and I know exactly where everybody's headspace is.
Okay.
For the most, there are some things where it's like, okay, Ahsoka was training Sabine to be a Jedi, but she's never shown any inkling of being Force sensitive. So that confuses me a little bit.
Yeah.
Not even in Rebels was there ever a moment where you sat there and said, "Oh, she's a Force sensitive." No, it never happened. So why? She explains it, which kind of reinforces what Rian Johnson said in The Last Jedi, which I know probably pisses off some people, that anybody could be Force sensitive.
Yeah.
It's not. The Force flows through all of us. It's part of all living things, blah blah, yakety schmackety, but it's still that thing of at one point Sabine had the Darksaber, and she was training with Ezra and Kanan, who was a Jedi who was in hiding. But he was training Ezra because Ezra was Force sensitive. But they were working together. She was trying to learn how to sword fight with the Darksaber. And it was do I have to be Force sensitive to use this fucking thing? Because it's technically from the first Mandalorian Jedi. That was his creation. So it's that part of it, I was like, okay, I get it, but I don't. But there were other moments that I'm just man, if you haven't watched the show, do you know what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Would you understand this? And I'm
yes, I think you would be able to.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I think you're looking way too deep into it. You gotta cut all that shit out for a minute and just look as a normal viewer. I think people can watch the show fine.
Right.
They're explaining enough.
Right.
To where you can watch the show. You don't have to be that much of a nerd into it to watch the show.
Right. But because that's tough for me to do.
Well, yeah, but that's how it is.
Right.
They're not going to put out a show that's unwatchable.
I get that as well. But
they're not going to put a movie out for the fans. I know.
Yeah.
But they're not going to because they want to make money.
Right.
That's the bottom line. So they're going to have something that you can follow.
Right.
They're kind of explaining things as it goes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So I didn't mean to cut your wick there, but
no.
I just don't think they made this for the fans. I think they made this to make money.
Right.
And you know what I mean.
But it's that odd thing. There is a section of the fan base that refuses to watch animation.
Well, that's fine.
Right. And so it's just that. I get it, and I appreciate you kind of clarifying that for me, that you're understanding it, but there's all, there are other things like the Purgle, the space whales.
Yeah.
They're important because of that's what Ezra used to defeat Thrawn.
Right.
He had Purgles wrap their tentacles around the Star Destroyer and take him and Thrawn away.
Yeah.
That's the whole why they're searching for Thrawn and they're searching for Ezra.
Yeah.
So, for them to show up like that, it was there was an episode of The Mandalorian where they show up. You could see them in the hyperspace lane.
Yeah.
And there's a shadow, and I was like, oh, Purgle. I was geeking because there they were. And so, again, it's little things or big things. That was a big thing. You have to understand, okay, well, what role do these space whales play? Why are there fucking space whales? So it's stuff like that it's I wonder, does the average person who hasn't watched that stuff, is it clicking with them?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the average person is going to know about the Purgles.
Right.
But they kind of explain the Purgles in the show.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. I just don't think the average fan isn't going to know shit like that.
Right.
But like I said, they're not going to put out a series that people can't follow. And it's followable.
Right.
I mean, you can watch this series without knowing whose cousin is whose and who flipped the rock. You don't need to know.
Right.
Just watch the show.
Right.
You know.
Okay.
Anyway, I thought, well, we didn't really talk about any of it, did we?
No, we didn't. We didn't talk about any of it.
No. It's pretty good. How do you think she is as Ahsoka?
Well, I think Rosario Dawson has her down.
Okay.
Like, this is where an adult Ahsoka would be.
Yeah.
This would be where Ahsoka would be after the rebellion. This would be where she would be. Because she's been dealing with a lot. Like, as far as, like, Anakin being Darth Vader.
Right.
Like, she had to deal with that.
Right.
And she's probably still dealing with that a little bit. Like, she... When Hayon at one point is like, Hera was like, well, I'm sure you were the same way with your master. Like, well, Anakin never got to finish my training.
Yeah.
Like, you can see like a little sting in there because it's like, I know what Anakin became, and she partially blames herself for that. She wasn't there for him. She went off to Mandalore to take on Maul.
Yeah.
And like, so there are aspects to like who she is that's tied to like who Anakin Skywalker is, because Anakin was her teacher.
Yeah.
Like even Hayon at one point is like, well, you do come from a long line of difficult Jedi.
Yeah.
So you're talking Anakin, Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon's master was Grievous. Not Grievous, no. Count Dooku. Yeah, and then Count Dooku was Yoda's apprentice. So yeah. There are other things I like. I like Hera.
You do?
I do. I saw somebody complain online that she wasn't very alien. Well, if you watch a cartoon, she's not very alien.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, I feel like the actress is picking up on who this character is.
Yeah.
She doesn't have alien, in the cartoon, this is how she was. So I like her character a lot. I like how Sabine's being played.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. That was I have a cat named Sabine Wren,
Yeah.
So you know how much I care for this character. And, to me, again, I think she's being played well. I get, her state of being. I also understand, again, at the end of Rebels, she says, Ezra asked me to protect this planet, and I did, and now I have to go find him. And they echo almost perfectly the last scene of Rebels with that last scene in episode 2 where she's looking at the painting of all of them, and then she touches it, and then there's Ahsoka waiting for it. Oh, I had chills. I was like, oh shit, they did.
Where's the love interest lie?
There is none.
Between
Ezra and Sabine?
Yeah.
There is none. And that's the beauty of their relationship. There is no love interest. They are like brother and sister.
Okay.
They never had, people who are like, oh, they should be together. I'm like, no, that's not their relationship at all. They were brother and sister.
Okay.
They're not, but that's how they treated each other.
Yeah.
Like, there was no they love each other, but in a...
Is that Ezra's kid?
No, that is... That's actually Kanan's kid.
Who's Kanan?
Okay. The first episode of the clones, the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
Okay. The very first episode of that, there's that young Jedi.
Yeah. Who escapes Order 66.
That's Kanan. That's Kanan.
Okay.
Okay. He escapes. He becomes like a on the lowdown Jedi.
Uh-huh.
And but he never completed his training. And then when Rebels begins, like he's with Hera, it's clear that they're together, like in a relationship. And then as the show goes on, you find out he was a Jedi. He escaped Order 66, and you reach a point where Ezra is like, okay, yeah, this kid's force sensitive. I have to train him.
Okay.
But
Ezra's training him?
No, Kanan's training Ezra.
Okay.
But by the end of that show, it's reinforced that Kanan and Hera are together. And when the show ends, because Kanan dies at one point.
From what?
An explosion, but he sacrifices himself, like using the Force. He's holding back the explosion so everybody can get on the ship. And he's not able to. And he tells Hera to go. And she's like, I can't leave you. It's like, you have to go. I can't hold it back any longer. And she leaves, and of course everybody's like, go back for me. You just see the flames engulf them, and you're just like, oh shit. Like it's a powerful deal. Like, I'm not doing it justice, but it's extremely powerful.
Uh-huh.
And at the end of Rebels, it's revealed that Hera fought in the rebellion, and she became a general, and she has a young pilot. It's there's Jansen or Jason, and it's you're like, oh, they had a kid.
Nice.
And so it's so I'm glad they included the not that I doubt if Filoni would, but I'm glad that was mentioned that yeah, she has a kid, and he's going to be force sensitive probably.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I like her character.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of good,
I like how she stood up to the senators.
Yeah. That was typical Hera.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, because she tells that one. So you waited out to see which side won. Is that how it worked? Oh, shit.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. The Ahsoka parts have been good.
Yeah. And the droid, Hai-Yun, voiced by David Tennant.
Yeah.
The great David Tennant.
Yeah.
That was a character used in the Clone Wars cartoon.
Uh-huh.
He did a 2-episode run as that character, and I'm I can't believe I brought him back. Yeah. That's so badass.
Yeah.
So it's shit like that where I'm just I saw him in the trailers, and I was geeking out he's gonna be in an episode?
Yeah.
No, he's in the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chopper.
Oh, Chopper's committed war crimes. Honestly, he's taken out an entire fleet of Imperials.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Here's an episode of Rebels where he fucks with a gravity ship. It fixes gravity so it forces you to pop out of hyperspace.
Yeah.
It's it's meant to for traps. He fucks with it so it reverses. Now all the Imperial ships are being pulled towards it, and it explodes. It kills an entire fleet of people all by himself.
Nice.
It's this motherfucker just commits war crimes. He's killed more people than Anakin did.
Is it fitting that he's with her?
Yeah, because he's a droid from the Clone Wars that she finds and fixes,
Uh-huh.
and he's a bit of a dick, as you kind of heard.
Yeah.
But he's cool as hell. Like he's probably my favorite droid.
Yeah.
Like if you ask me, like, who's your favorite droid, I'd probably Chopper. He's a bit of a dick.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's fun.
So who are these Jedi or whoever they are, Dark Jedi?
I don't know. Like that's the thing. Like I don't know like what their deal is. Like their lightsabers aren't blood red, like a Sith.
Yeah.
So like their gems haven't been completely corrupted.
Yeah.
And bled like a Sith would, but they definitely have like a red hue. Like I don't quite know what their deal is.
Okay.
Like I'm intrigued to see where that goes, and how that plays out.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know what exactly. Like I don't ever recall him from like the cartoons, so I think he's like a new creation.
He died. So I mean, like,
huh?
He's dead, right? In real life.
Ray Stevens is dead. Yeah. He died. Yeah. But like I'm talking like the character. I don't know much about. So I'm intrigued to see where all that goes.
Yeah, and there's her, and there's this other guy that's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's a robot. He's kind of the snake guys.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure either. I'm intrigued to see. Like, everybody's like speculating, and I'm like, I just want to watch it all unfold.
Because that fight between him and her.
Yeah.
On that planet, that was pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
That's badass.
And like when he was calling the lightsaber back, and she just kind of like leans to the side as it goes by. Yeah. I was like, oh shit. Ahsoka knows.
Yeah. So. But I like that part.
Yeah.
I like the fighting. When there's fighting, I love it.
Yeah.
The space fighting in this,
the dog fights and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Very good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the dog fights were very good. Every time Ahsoka pulls out her lightsaber, it's good.
Yeah.
I think she does it well. I don't know what it's compared to the cartoon, but her moves.
You could tell like they've worked very hard on her, on like that fighting style.
Yeah.
Like I even know like when she fights Maul in like the last few episodes of the Clone Wars. Like that last season, the last few episodes. When she has her big fight with Maul, they had Ray Park come in and do the motion capture for Maul. And so they had to work with somebody on that actual fighting style for Ahsoka.
Okay.
So they could do the motion capture. So like they have like a blueprint for how she fights. And they've done a very good job of kind of giving that to Rosario Dawson, and she's absorbed it. Plus, I'm sure there's probably also somebody else doing a lot of that too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, Rosario Dawson said she worked her ass off to learn that, and like,
yeah,
So like, yeah, looking back at it, it's, when she fights, she's Ahsoka.
Yeah. Okay, I was just checking.
Yeah, no, that's
the questions that I had, or the comparisons.
Yeah, like if you just go and you watch those episodes, because they're amazing. Like that's some of the best Star Wars stuff you'll find. It's like those last 5 episodes of the Clone Wars.
Yeah,
because it's Ahsoka going to Mandalore to take on Maul and bring him in, and then Order 66.
Yeah.
And it ties in so well with, like, Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
Like, Ahsoka can feel Anakin turning. It's like, oh, it's so fucking good. Like, it was so well done. And it was, like, looked at as being so important. They went old school with it, with those episodes, and it starts off with the old school, like, Lucasfilm, just the way the Star Wars movies used to start, like, like just, and then it's got the Clone Wars that's in the red logo, and like you watch it and you're just like, oh shit, this is important because they did it different.
Yeah.
Like every other episode of this Clone Wars opens up with that voiceover guy going, "It's war," like, and he gives an explanation of shit, and you kind of go into the story. This had none of that. Like it started off like a fucking movie.
Yeah.
Like a 1980s movie.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, this is badass.
Did you like the how they did it with this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, like that opening crawl. Like I appreciated it because it wasn't the crawl, but it was a crawl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like and I liked that a lot.
Yeah.
Like I was like, okay, this is cool, and it helped bring you up to speed a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But oh man. Like, this isn't the best thing since sliced bread to me, but I'm enjoying the fuck out of it. Like, my only complaint is I wish every episode was longer.
Yeah, the last one was 37 minutes.
Yeah.
That was a little short.
Yeah, that was a shorty. Okay, let's build on that next time.
Is this a one-shot, or is this...
Well, I think this is a one-shot that leads to, like, Filoni's doing that movie that I think this is all going to tie into. Like, as far as, like, I think this, The Mandalorian, maybe the Book of Boba Fett if they do a second. Like, I guess it's all leading towards this movie that Filoni's doing.
Is Obi-Wan connected to this?
No.
This is before. No, this is after.
After, yeah.
No.
Yeah. Obi was, I think, 7 years before the Battle of Yavin.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, because I think Leia's like 10 or 11. And Luke and Leia are both 17 when Battle of Yavin takes place. 17 or 18. So. Yeah.
So Book of Boba Fett, Mandalorian, and this tie together.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to see Mando next to fucking Ahsoka.
Well, like I'd be intrigued to see, like, again, like, because I mean,
and all the Darksaber's involved in all this too. What's
yeah,
his name? Oh,
yeah,
he's dead.
Yeah. Well, but like again, like there were hints, like in those last couple episodes, like when he was like talking like the Shadow Council, like they were talking about Thrawn, and there's Admiral Pelion, who's like Thrawn's right hand man. He's like, I'm telling you, he's coming. Like there is a sect of that Shadow Council that believes that Thrawn can be brought back, and Thrawn is the answer.
Yeah.
Because he's that damn good.
Yeah.
And so like that's why they're kind of pinning their hopes on, can we find Thrawn? I think that's why they're funneling money that way to find Thrawn, because they view him as the answer to overtaking the Republic.
Yeah. Is he a Jedi? Dark
Thrawn?
Jedi?
No. Nothing.
Really?
He is just a master strategist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, he's a type, and I love this. This is why I wish they had made those books in at least the animated series. Like the Thrawn trilogy, that written by Timothy Zahn. Like, he's talking about, like, I know how to defeat Admiral Akbar. Everybody talks about what a great strategist Akbar is. But I've viewed his art. And if you look at his art, you can see his weaknesses. And it's like this fascinating take. Like, he can he's just this absolute pure strategist. And his thing was, we're funneling money into the wrong thing. You want to build this big bad Death Star, and it's fucking useless. Put your money into the fleet. Put your money into bettering our resources. This is where Thrawn and Tarkin butted heads.
Yeah.
Because Thrawn was like, this Death Star idea is stupid. It's a waste of money. It's too fucking big. It's ridiculous. If you put money into a fleet and we enhance our resources. We make the TIE fighters better. We make our Star Destroyers better. This is where the money should be going, and this is where there was a butting of heads between those two, and because Thrawn lost at Lothal, which is where he was sinking his money into the next generation of TIE fighters and stuff. Tarkin wins, and that's where the Emperor ends up putting the money and making sure the Death Star becomes operational.
Nice. Thrawn and Vader ever talk?
Yeah. But Thrawn looked at Vader as a lapdog.
Yeah.
He's you're just the Emperor's lapdog. You don't know strategy. You just rely on your tricks and whatnot. And if it came down to it, I would find a way to beat you.
Is that what he said to Vader?
Basically, yeah.
For the last time.
Yeah. I think that's why when you get to that Death Star scene where that guy's your tricks and mystical wizardry, and Vader's just look, motherfucker, I have had enough of this. I will choke you out. Does Darth Vader gotta choke a bitch?
I thought that was one of the coolest things in Obi-Wan, is because you saw throughout the years, once during a movie he'd pull one of them tricks.
Yeah.
When he was fighting Luke, when Luke lost the hand, he was doing his shit, his mystical shit. But when Obi-Wan came out, you were you know what I mean? These glimpses of Vader, which has been actually kind of brilliant. But these glimpses of Vader through Rogue One and all this stuff have been leading up, to Obi-Wan.
Right.
Where it was just because when you saw him in Obi-Wan, I was I was that's the Vader that I want to see, all the time.
That version of Vader was the Michael Myers version of Vader.
It was, but it was a cocky Vader.
Yeah.
And a young Vader.
Yeah.
A mobile Vader.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? No Batman head turns Vader. Do you know what I mean? Dude was ready.
Yeah.
As mechanically as he could.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked about it. I liked that. I liked he threw that fucking saber at him. I was come on, let's go. Where's your fucking saber? And then, at one point, didn't he put, spin him? He was spinning him.
I think so, yeah.
I was God damn, son. And when that ship started to take off, he was nope, not today.
Yeah.
I was that is some badass shit. That showed his full power.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't see, Jedi run or anything, but
no.
But the other stuff, he pulled out almost everything. Which I thought was cool as fuck.
There's even a moment.
It was more action sword fighting.
Right.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the saber's dwindling out because it's just bad technology.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, they were going at it.
Yeah.
And, every time he lit that saber up, anytime. When he fucking stormed the ship in Rogue One, he was fucking the music, and he's choking bitches out, throwing them, killing them, and I'm that's the boss I want to see.
Yeah, he's lifting people in the fucking air and just holding them there as he's gutting another guy, dropping this motherfucker.
Fucking amazing. And that is why, they never showed it in the originals. That is why Vader was so feared.
Yeah.
They gave you, and later on, they gave you the reason why Vader was so feared.
Yeah.
Because he was ruthless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was almost comforting.
Yeah.
And relieving that it's see, I told you he was a bad man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I told you he's the baddest man on the planet. And through these shows, we've seen that, he is the baddest man.
Yeah.
For real.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
But he's also held back by the Emperor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, the Emperor has him on a choker.
Yeah.
And it's like... And that's why, like, for a long time, like, the admirals and the Moffs don't take him all that seriously. Like, yeah, you can do your shit, but, like, you're not going to do anything to me because the Emperor won't allow it.
Right.
You know, it's, like, not until, like, the failure of the first Death Star where, like, the Emperor's like, yeah, do what you got to do.
So, here's the question, right?
Yeah.
So, when Luke and Vader have the talk,
yeah,
and he's like,
on Endor,
father and son can rule the galaxy.
Oh, that one, okay, that one,
right?
Yeah.
Do you think he meant it, or do you think that was just a ploy?
I think he meant it because he knows his place. Like, he knows the Sith role too, and he also knows, like, the only reason the Emperor wants Luke is because he's a better version of him.
Yeah. You know,
Like,
it's almost like he's trying to save him, but not save him.
The Emperor's biggest problem has been, okay, I had Darth Maul, and he got cut in half. So now I'm stuck with fucking Dooku. This old fuck.
Yeah.
You know, and the second Anakin comes along, and he's ready, like, the Emperor's like, yo, cut him in half. Do it. You know? And so, because the Emperor wants this young, you know, version to be his lapdog.
Yeah.
Which, you know, but then he's stuck with, well, I got to put you in a fucking iron lung.
Yeah.
You know, because you got your ass handed to you. You know, so the Emperor's always looking to upgrade. And the next upgrade is his kid.
Yeah. So you think
so Vader's like,
fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's upgrade.
Yeah. Let's you and me join together. We can take down the Emperor, and we can rule the galaxy together.
Yeah.
You know, as partners. You know,
well, as father and son.
Yeah. Yeah, so, like,
I mean, it's a beautiful setup if you think about it.
It is.
And they probably could do it, because I think both of them could have defeated the Emperor.
Right.
Don't you think?
Anakin also kind of offers it to Obi-Wan.
Huh?
Anakin kind of also offers it to Obi-Wan, though.
Yeah.
He's like, you know, we could do this. Like, we could rule this glorious empire, my glorious empire. And Obi-Wan's like, no, we can't do that. I'm loyal to the Republic, Anakin. You know. Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
All right.
You know. So, like,
I loved Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
I did. And some people coughed at it. I'm like, oh, that's pretty fucking good, dude. I mean, close friends were like, yeah, their main complaint was Leia. And I understand that. I understand completely. Because she did get annoying after a while. It's like, you know, putting an adult in a little girl. I mean, I understand that. You know what I mean?
Right. But that also gets transposed later on.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, the first time we see Leia, she's carrying, you know, these sensitive plans for the top secret battle station. It's just destroyed half a planet. And she's trying to rush them back to the Rebel Alliance.
Yeah.
The first time we see Luke, he's playing with a toy spaceship.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I mean, like, yes. Like, we're putting adult problems on a 10, 11-year-old. But later on, she's prepared for it as compared to her brother. You know, who's still like, yeah, choo, choo, choo.
Yeah.
You know, I got a womp rat.
I know. I'm shooting some womp rats.
You know, I mean, that's...
I can't wait to fly.
Yeah.
I'm going to pretend it's my sand speeder.
Yeah. I mean, that's the... Like, so that's, like, the
Isn't it?
thing.
It's so weird, right?
It is. And, like, even, like, in Rebels, like, Leia shows up in Rebels as, like, a 14-year-old, like, delivering spaceships for the Rebel Alliance under the Empire's nose. So, like, yeah, I get their complaint, but at the same time, it pays off so much later on because she has adult responsibilities because of who she is.
Yeah, and Luke's dipping his hand in the droid oil.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, that one Jawa looked really sexy. Did it just make someone go, Owen? Luke, shut your fucking mouth.
Uncle Owen, shouldn't we get the XR69?
Yeah. Yeah.
To always have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It has 3 hands.
Yeah.
It has an oil leak, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, it...
You're right, though. I mean, like, there's such a contrast between the two.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because Luke had to grow up so quick.
Yeah.
And Leia has been grown since she was 6.
Like, she's taking command of the situation. Like,
yeah, right.
they spring her, and the first thing she's got to do is get their asses out of trouble.
Yeah.
You know, so they go down the garbage chute. You know, the second they're out of the trash compactor, like, get this fucking walking carpet out of my way. I need to lead us out of here.
Yeah, I know. She's ready.
Yeah.
And Luke is not.
No, not even close.
Nah. I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to save you.
Yeah.
She's like...
I ain't impressed, kid.
Yeah, I just unlock the door. I can do it myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she takes one look at the Falcons like, you guys came in that?
Yeah, I always thought Leia was portrayed as a strong woman, and that's what I appreciate.
No, absolutely, yeah.
You know, she wasn't some damsel in distress.
No.
She was like, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I think she hit Chewbacca at one point.
Yeah.
No, really. I mean,
Yeah.
like she fucking didn't she? I swear she did.
I think that was after they got out of the trash compactor.
Yeah, she hit him.
Yeah.
She's not scared of shit.
No.
She knows what she knows what Wookiees can do.
Yeah.
You know? And that, my friend, was one of the most incredible scenes I've ever seen. Was the meeting of Han Solo and Chewbacca.
Oh, yeah.
In Star Wars universe history.
Yeah.
It was one of the best scenes I've ever seen.
Yeah.
No, really. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I know I broke tide there, but I was like, I just remembered. It came into my mind. I was like, that was a really good... Solo was really good.
It was. So undervalued.
It's not just undervalued. I mean... It's just so fucking good.
Yeah.
Really good.
I agree. Like, I would love to see a series
of Solo, yes.
Yeah.
For sure. Because it was that good of a show.
Yeah.
He was a great Han Solo. The only like I said, the only problem I had with it were the fucking mangy Wookiees coming out of the cave.
Yeah. I know.
I could not.
Yeah.
You know.
But, like, beyond that, like, I mean, like...
Give that fucker a distemper shot. What the fuck? Don't save them. They'll infect the entire planet.
Yeah. Like...
Look, his dick's falling off.
Outside of the Wookiees with mange, like, it told a good story. Like, you loved Lando. You loved...
Use some CGI on them.
Yeah.
They were terrible. They looked like fucking something out of Land of the Lost. They were horrible. That was like that was just terrible.
Yeah.
Whoever was in charge of makeup that day should have been fired. I'm telling you. I know they'd been in a cave and I know they were abused and stuff like that. But they came out with fucking fleas and mange and fucking... They didn't even look like Wookiees. They looked like fucking part ape. I mean, it was just not good. We've seen good looking Wookiees on Kashyyyk.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This was like Harry and the Hendersons meets the Grateful Dead. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It was not a good look. It wasn't.
Okay.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
And then, like, I always thought that what book was it that we read that said the Wookiees can talk, but Chewbacca had a speech impediment or something?
No, it was the other way around. It was one of the Thrawn books.
Okay.
And in that book, there was one Wookiee that had a speech impediment, so he was able to speak English. So he was like the translator.
Badass if you sound like Morgan Freeman.
Yeah. Yeah. Hello, Leia.
Yeah. It's totally out of context. I mean, like, so weird. Like, just to see this Wookiee speak and just be like...
That's why I love it. Have you ever seen the behind-the-scenes stuff where it's Peter Mayhew, like, on set, reading lines?
Really?
In the Chewbacca costume.
Really?
Yeah, like in Empire Strikes Back, he's like working on the Falcon. Like when Han's like, okay, I gotta go check in. Chewie's like, where have you been? I'm working here. Come on. Well, I'm almost ready to go.
But see, that makes sense for the response to Han.
Right. It does. It makes 110% sense.
That's like brilliant.
It is. But it's like really unusual because you're looking at Chewbacca and you're hearing Peter Mayhew give the lines.
Why, I bet that kept Peter Mayhew's sanity.
I'm sure, yeah.
Because, I can't imagine showing up for work every day just going...
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Cut.
Yeah.
Let me pull out the crossbow.
Yeah.
Okay, cut. You know what I mean? Like, at least he was talking through it.
Yeah. But, he had actual lines.
Right. Because that makes sense.
Yeah.
That'd be weird, though.
It is. Like, you look it up sometime. It is weird to, because he's like, how much longer are you going to be? You're like, wow.
Love Chewbacca.
Yeah.
Gotta love Chewbacca. I'm surprised we haven't gotten to a Kashyyyk anything.
Well, we have.
Huh?
We have. You watched it in 1978.
Oh, God.
All right, so while we're on a Star Wars kick of...
You were the chosen one.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite ones.
It is. You were meant to bring balance to the Force, not destroy it. You were my brother.
So good.
Yeah.
It's the only redemption.
Oh.
That series. I thought that, like I said, I think the fight was a little long and a little outrageous. But it was good.
Yeah.
Was Obi-Wan even sweating?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the kind of,
Yeah.
You're in a... Here's Obi-Wan, not even making a sweat, and he's in a lava pit.
Yeah.
Look at the hobbits on fucking Mount Doom. They look like fucking... They've been walking in a desert for, 100 years.
Yeah.
They're, done.
Yeah.
Done. They're like...
And even Gollum was looking raggedy for Gollum.
Yeah. They were hot.
Yeah.
Hot.
Yeah.
And Obi-Wan was like, I'm cool as shit.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. And Vader was hot.
Aragorn has 100 pounds of plate mail on a drop of sweat on him. Those fucking hobbits.
They were you could smell them through the screen. You know what I mean? You could smell the swamp ass through the screen. It was bad. Bad.
Oh.
It's so terrible. Terrible. They had to be so hot.
Yeah.
Jesus. I don't even know how they got. They walked all that way.
Yeah.
Right? All that way.
Yeah.
And now they had to experience this volcano.
Yeah.
Their last, thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, hair's all burned off their feet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'm just just take me.
Yeah.
I'm done. Like Spock.
Yeah. I'm good.
I'm good. I'm ready. That was another good scene.
Yeah.
In the spaceship with Kirk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was fantastic writing.
Yeah.
You mistake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. I know I'm all over the place, but these are good scenes.
They are.
That scene in that fucking movie was so good.
But while we're on the Star Wars kick,
yes,
A movie that was supposed to be a Star Wars movie, but it was not.
Yeah, I heard about this.
Did you see the trailer for Rebel Moon?
I did not see the trailer.
Well, let's pause. All right, so you just got to watch the trailer for Rebel Moon.
Yeah.
Like, you were completely unaware of this project for the most part, right?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Amazing.
Zack Snyder deals in one thing and one thing only: the grandiose.
Yeah.
Like, I can see why Lucasfilm was like,
this is too much.
yeah, wow.
We want to sell toys.
Like, yeah, like, I mean, like, your question to me as I was pulling up, like, well, is it too dark? Like, I don't think it's too dark. I just think it's like I think you hit the nail right on the head. It is a cross between Star Wars and Dune.
Yeah.
Like, and it is as epic and space operatic as you can get.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in a way glad they turned him down, because if they would have allowed him to do it, then they would have reined him in a little bit.
Yeah, and tweaked it.
Yeah, and I think Zack Snyder all by himself, I kind of like when he doesn't have a filter.
Yeah.
Like, I think it showed with Justice League.
Yeah.
Like, all honesty, like, that is Zack Snyder's vision 100%. And, like, the shame is we'll never see that vision completely through, but, like, shit like that moment where, like, you know, Darkseid's looking through the boom tube with the Justice League, and you're just like, oh, shit. And, you know, he's like, you know, we will find the anti-life. Prepare the troops. We'll go the old-fashioned way. I'm like, oh, shit. You know, like, shit like that, like gets me fired up with Zack Snyder. And, like, this trailer, like, I watched it. You're like, I'm getting chills. I got chills the first time I watched it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, holy fuck, this is
epic.
Epic.
But was it the music that was making it epic?
I mean,
because there's a build, there's a crescendo that entire fucking thing.
100%. I'm not going to deny that, but I also think at the same time, like, no, because you know what you're getting with Zack Snyder. It is going to be batshit crazy, but it is going to be grandiose in the most grandiose of ways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's two parts. Like, I love it. They didn't even hide that. It's like, yo, yeah, you're gonna get part 1 in December and part 2 in April. Like, just be prepared for it. Like, you're not even ready for this shit.
Right.
You know, it's like, wow. Like I will freely admit, I love Zack Snyder. I think Sucker Punch is an underrated, really good movie. Is it batshit crazy? Yes. Is it a bit of a mess? Yes. But is it fun? Absolutely. Like, I liked Watchmen. I liked his Dawn of the Dead.
Oh.
I liked Man of Steel. I liked Batman v Superman. I loved Zack Snyder's Justice League. Like that. Zack Snyder does a lot of things I like, and he does things in like 300. 300 is an amazing fucking movie, you know. Like, and it's grandiose in the most grandiose of ways because it's Zack Snyder. Like, it's shit like that I'm like, this is why I like Zack Snyder. Like it's the same reason why you like a Michael Bay movie. You like a Michael Bay movie because you like watching shit blow up.
Yeah.
I like Zack Snyder movies because they turn it to 12.
Yeah.
For the most part, they just crank it to 12, and they are going to go over the top in every single way.
But usually really good storylines.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It looks amazing.
It does. Like, visually, like, I'm looking at that going like, yeah, this is Zack Snyder. This is everything I love about Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, like people make fun of, like, because it's like his MO is like the slow motion and the camera turns, everything. Like, that's like his MO in like almost every movie, and that shit works for me. It really does.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
It's the same as like when you watch a Michael Bay movie and like, you know, there's a massive explosion of like, you're like, yeah, that's Michael Bay.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, so I watched that trailer and I was just, I've watched it like 10 times. I'm not gonna lie to you,
really,
because I'm like just like enthralled with it. Like, I'm like, this is so fucking good. And yeah, the music does play a part in it. You're right. It crescendos. It builds. But that's what but it does what it's supposed to do, and that is hook my interest, which you had anyway, because this is Zack Snyder's space epic.
Yeah.
You know, But like, I don't think it was just the music though. To me, like it was like, it's the same thing with that very first Watchmen trailer. Like, when you went to go see The Dark Knight, you got that very first Watchmen trailer,
right?
And it had the Smashing Pumpkins song attached to it. And yes, that Smashing Pumpkins song kills it with that trailer. But you watch that trailer and you're like, holy shit, look at this.
Yeah. And
if you didn't know what Watchmen was, you became interested. You're like, what is this?
Yeah.
You know, you and I knew what Watchmen was, you know, as comic book readers. We were like, oh yeah, I know that.
Right.
You know, I can't believe they're fucking doing it, but I know this.
Right.
You know, and you know, it's stuff like that. Like, I think I think like Zack knows how to package something to sell it to you, but at the same time, what he's giving you, to me, is like over the top, mind-numbing storytelling.
Yeah, I just want to see a story.
Yeah.
And it's science fiction, and I'm all about it. Because as I've always said, we need good science fiction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We do. I don't want to see giant sharks anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I want to see a space epic. And
yeah.
Hopefully that's, well, my hopes were in Jupiter Ascending. And
yeah.
Yeah, that didn't turn out well.
No.
I mean, that was the last space epic type of show that not you, but me. I was like, oh, this is going to be.
Yeah.
You know.
Alita.
Yeah, that was close.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, I need that. I thirst for it. Does that make sense?
Here's the best comparison. And it clicked with my head. Zack Snyder is the Jim Steinman of movies.
Yeah.
Like, Jim Steinman music is over the top, operatic. Like, it's why he works well with Meatloaf. But like, Jim Steinman music is just, it's batshit crazy, but it's so fucking good.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing like with Zack Snyder to me. Like, it's batshit crazy, but it's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna say this is for everybody. I'm not. You know, like, I would not recommend Sucker Punch to everybody. But if you are intrigued by an interesting story told in a very over-the-top fashion, like clockwork, you know, Nazi zombies. That's all I need to say.
Yeah.
You know, like, if that just piqued your interest, then you should watch Sucker Punch if you haven't already.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to tell you it's a great movie, but man, it is fun to watch.
Well, that's like Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
I mean,
which is probably his most tame movie.
But a really good film.
Yeah. Like, that beginning is so crazy, but it's like, it's so, like, it's so fucking good.
You get adrenaline rush just watching the beginning of that movie.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa. And then one of my favorite parts is when they pan out.
Yeah.
And then you see, like,
the chaos everywhere.
Yeah. The semi going through the thing, crashing in the car and blowing up. Things are just going fucking a mess.
Yeah.
And then once you get into the mall and you start to get relaxed, you know, it takes you on this ride.
It does.
You know, and that's why it's such a good film. To me, I know people are going to be like, oh, I can't believe you said that.
Yeah, I know. Especially being from Pittsburgh, it's tough to say, but
it's far superior to the original Dawn.
I have to agree. Like, I hate saying that as a lover of Romero, but man, it is so fucking good.
Yeah, and I'm not dissing Romero at all.
No. Romero made a masterpiece. It's just Zack Snyder took it and ran with it and made it better.
He just did.
Yeah.
And even the music was good.
Yeah.
It just made sense. I love the comfortableness of it.
Yeah.
You know? And don't get me wrong, there are parts of Dawn that he encaptured the same things in Dawn. He just did it with a modern day
thing. You know
what I mean? Like, it just, you know.
Yeah.
I think the reason that we like it as Pittsburghers so much is because we were at that mall.
Yeah.
We knew the hardware store. From when we were little, we knew the ice skating rink.
Yeah.
We knew Pop Go-Go's. And we had been there 102, 300, 400 times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We knew that place. Mom used to take us there all the time.
Right.
And we remember the old mall.
Yeah.
You know, we knew where those passages were.
Right, but also at the same time, I would say this, like, the other side of that is that, like, Romero, like, what Romero did was amazing. And he did it on a shoestring budget.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, but the story that he told was important, and the things he was saying about American capitalism and everything else, like, it's all there.
Yeah.
But like what Zack Snyder does is take that base story and expand upon it, and using modern technology and a bigger budget, you know, really give you like a better version of what Romero did.
Right.
And very rarely would I say there's a remake of Night of the Living Dead, which is good, but not superior to the original.
No, I agree.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a good movie, it's a good remake, but I mean, Romero's original is far superior.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, and so I it's just it's for me, for like that Zack Snyder version of Dawn of the Dead. It's
just really good.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm sorry. I you know, I'm sure there are people out there going to be shaking their fist at us, but I love the original.
Yeah, I'm not denying that I don't either.
Yeah, but Zack Snyder made a better movie.
Yeah.
And that's very rare.
Correct. What was I watching? I watched something. I started watching something about Arthur.
Okay.
I cannot remember the name of this film. I don't remember what it's on. I was like desperately trying to find something. I was like, I'll watch this.
Yeah.
It has to do with Arthur.
I saw there was like a
King Arthur.
Yeah.
Well, it's not called King Arthur.
Right. No, I think I saw something about like on Netflix. It was like.
No, it wasn't Netflix because I couldn't binge it. Do you know what I mean? Like, It was episodic, like week to week. And I was pissed. And I was like, I got through the first 2 episodes, and I'm like,
yeah,
what the fuck? But it's really good.
Is that on Paramount?
Maybe Paramount. But anyway, what shocked me the most was did you find it?
No, not yet.
Anyway, just Google search King Arthur show.
Well, I'm on Paramount Plus now.
Anyway, so King Arthur, not King Arthur, I'm not going to say. Arthur was in battle, right?
Yeah.
And with the king's son, and you know, Arthur's the bastard son.
Yeah.
Right. So the king's son dies.
Yeah.
And Arthur comes back with the body. Right?
Yeah.
And the king was going to kill him, but the sister said, hey, let's banish him. So they banished him. Blah, 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 blah. Arthur's banished. So you don't see Arthur again for like an episode and a half.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now it has to do with the king is now dying. Right?
Yeah.
And the king has sired a son. The clubfoot.
Okay.
Okay. And they're in Merlin's place. Like, what's Merlin's realm called?
I can't remember.
There's a name.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they're in Merlin's realm, and this, I don't know, baddie. The king, as he was dying, he said, "You're going to be in charge of my son."
Is this the Winter King?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's on MGM Plus.
Okay, it's fantastic. So, yeah, Winter King.
Okay.
So, he goes, he puts this guy in charge of his kid. Who's like their main, like adversary.
Yeah.
And then they put this guy and this guy and this guy in charge of the kid. To protect the kid.
Yeah.
And to, further the deal, he has to marry his daughter. Or something.
Yeah.
No, marry his wife. His soon-to-be widowed wife.
Yeah.
To ensure this king.
The line continues, yeah.
The clubfoot kid.
Yeah.
Will become. Yeah. So anyway. So everybody's at Merlin's place. I can't remember I cannot remember the name of Merlin's community. Anyway. And the king comes. I was like, oh, they're here. The king died.
Yeah.
And he comes and they're pagan about it. And of course England is Christian. Or whatever at that point. It's like 1150. You know what I mean? I don't know. So they come, and this is the crazy part. And what I'm getting at is there's a crazy moment in this story that I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Right. So the baddie comes. The women are there, and he comes up, and they don't trust him.
Yeah.
Because they've been raiding and everything for years.
Right.
And he proved his loyalty, he said. And he comes up and he's like, "Let me see this child, that I'm going to protect." And he puts the child in his arms, rocking him. And he fucking stabs him right in the fucking chest.
Wow.
And you see it.
Yeah.
Wow. I was like, what the fuck? I'm sitting there like I expected that he was going to kill the child.
Yeah.
But I did not expect the dagger to come out of his fucking holster.
Yeah.
And fucking stab the kid in the fucking chest. And the kid screamed.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? She screams. Chaos ensues.
Yeah.
Everyone dies. I mean, there's a select 25 people that live.
Yeah.
And get on the run, including Merlin.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is fucking happening right now? I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Turns out that they switched babies.
Oh, okay.
Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was like a person that you knew from watching the show.
Yeah.
Her son.
Yeah.
They got fucking stabbed in the chest.
Yeah,
I was like, mind blown.
Yeah.
Not by that, but I was mind blown.
Yeah, the whole series of events is still like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I expected
This is Red Wedding-ish.
You don't see the kid.
Yeah.
It's wrapped.
Yeah.
And they axe him.
Yeah,
or something.
You see the blood on the blanket.
Or the face or something like that.
Yeah.
No, man. He's just holding this kid. Boom!
Wow.
Right through his chest. I'm like, what the fuck? And the instant my reaction was how everybody on screen was reacting.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a crazy moment.
Wow.
And you don't see that every day. I mean,
no.
You see some wild shit. Even in horror movies, you see some wild shit.
Yeah.
But I've never seen
baby stab.
A fucking 3-month or 2-month-old baby getting stabbed through the chest.
Yeah.
And him just go. I'm like, it was crazy. It was shocking. It was a shocking moment where I was like,
yeah.
I just couldn't believe it.
All right, so I watched a couple other things. Wasn't quite that batshit crazy.
Okay.
I watched 2 documentaries.
Okay.
One was called BS High.
Okay.
And this was, I'm sure you don't remember this, but there was a a game, a high school football game a couple years ago. It's played in the Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio.
Okay.
Between Bishop Sycamore and IMG Academy.
Okay.
And Bishop Sycamore got destroyed, like 50-something to nothing.
Wow.
Well, it turns out that Bishop Sycamore was not a real school. Yeah. This game was played on ESPN, but nobody realized it wasn't a real school.
What?
This guy, like IMG Academy, is a school where you go because you are a high-end athlete, and they have determined that you are a Division I prospect.
Okay.
And, like, they are so good. Like, it's like a school built around athletics.
Okay.
Okay? Like, they're not in, like, they're going to get you the pass, but at the same time, you are there as an athlete.
Okay.
Strictly as an athlete. And, like, they were valued. Like, they made, like, in 2021, I think they said they made $76 million. And they were sold to, like, an equity firm for, like, $1.2 billion.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Like, this is... Because this is what high school sports is. So this guy, he knows that there's money to be made in high school athletics. So he gets the church to back a school. Well, the church backs out, so he just keeps the team.
Yeah.
And he creates his own school. And he's recruiting these players. And then he's paying for shit by fucking them over and signing them up for, like, PPP loans from the government.
Oh.
Like, for, like, thousands of dollars.
Okay.
And, like, bills are going on. Like, it's like this the shadiest fucking shit in the world. And in the meantime, these kids are being promised two things. One, we're going to get your grades up. And two, we're going to get you into a D1 program. Okay. Well, they fulfill neither of these promises.
Oh, shit.
And... like, it turns out, like, at the end of, like, he ran this school for, like, 4 years. This team without a school. And at the end of it, like, after they got on TV, or after they got on ESPN and got destroyed, like, it all starts to unravel.
Okay.
You know? And, like, at the end of it, like, he fucked over all of these kids. Like, the one kid, the quarterback, he ended up getting offered, like, a scholarship to Grambling State.
Okay.
And they found out he played for this team, and they had to revoke the scholarship. He wasn't eligible. Like, there was so much bullshit that this guy did, and it fucked over these kids so bad. And they talked to the guy. Like, he's, like, the main person they're talking to.
Yeah.
And he has no remorse.
Nah.
None. Like, at the end of it, he's like, I did nothing wrong. All I did was take advantage of loopholes.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I didn't go to jail for it. I didn't commit any crimes. But, and it's like, holy shit. And he's like, and I'll probably do it again. Like, holy fuck. Like, it was an amazing documentary. It's like a 90-minute documentary. And it's amazing just from the aspect of this guy. And, like, the zero remorse that he has. Like, I gave him an opportunity. They played on ESPN. I don't know what the fuck their problem is.
Yeah.
Like, guys are, like, blowing out ACLs and stuff. And the coaching staff, they had no trainers. The coaching staff was like, well, can you still walk and get in the fucking game?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like, it was amazing.
Wow.
Like, the one kid said, I come off the field, I'm like, Coach, I felt my knee pop. And he's like, oh, you look fine to me.
Who are these coaches?
Oh, they were like, I mean, this one guy was, I mean, the main guy was like he's a shyster.
Yeah.
You know, and like, he was like, I asked him, like, where are you guys running plays? I'm like, oh, we're just running stuff off of Madden. Like, they didn't have a playbook. Madden was their playbook.
Wow.
Like, it was like nuts. It was fucking nuts. It's an amazing documentary to watch just to see how horrible someone can be and take advantage of kids who are looking for hope.
Right.
And they're like one guy, Bomani Jones. He's like, at the end of the day, like you're asking yourself, because he's like, how can an African American man take advantage of other African American kids the way that he did? He's like, the answer is simple, because they're there to be taken advantage of.
Jeez.
He's like, this guy has no remorse. He doesn't care. He's like, he just knows that the African American community can be taken advantage of, and if not him, it'll be just some white person. Like, damn.
That's crazy.
It is. It's nuts. I highly recommend BS High. It's on Max. It's a phenomenal documentary. If you're into this, like, I'm not gonna say like if you don't care for this stuff, you should watch it. Like, if you're into the subject matter, it's an amazing documentary.
Huh. Okay.
And the other thing I watched, which was on Netflix, was Swamp Kings.
Okay.
Which is about Urban Meyer's tenure at the University of Florida.
Okay.
4 episodes, about an hour each. So it's a 4-hour documentary, essentially. And it's good, but unlike BS High, where like they were like delving deep into like the evils of what happened, like they kind of glanced over like when Urban Meyer was at Florida, shit went down. I mean, Aaron Hernandez was attending Florida at that time. The Pouncey twins were attending Florida at that time. Like, there were a lot of players who, like, and they, like, talk about it a little bit. Like, yeah, there were a lot of guys who got arrested, and there were a lot of things that got swept under the rug, and, but, kids will be kids, and they move on. Like, I was like, wow. There was a lot of shit that went down, including Aaron Hernandez being part of, like, a gang.
Really?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why he went to jail.
Yeah.
Like, but that happened in Florida.
Yeah.
He just took it to New England.
Yeah.
So, it's this thing of, like, it's an interesting documentary if you like football. Because it covers the football very well. It covers Tim Tebow phenomenally. Tim Tebow is a part of it. And I have always said, Tim Tebow is not an NFL quarterback. He never was. But I would follow Tim Tebow to the gates of hell.
Yeah?
He's that good of a leader.
Okay.
Like, he has my utmost respect, and I understand why. Like, when he was with the Broncos, and he had that 1 year, and he had that one great game against the Steelers.
Yeah.
Like, it had to have been the fucking Steelers, but he had that one great game against the Steelers. Like, I understand why people, like, followed him.
Yeah.
Like, because there's no BS with Tim Tebow.
Right.
Like, he does that thing, and this is where I was like, wow, Tim Tebow is a guy, like, I would follow.
Right.
Like, I wish he was my quarterback in high school. I wish I wish I had played with Tim Tebow. Like, he does that thing, like, after they lose to South Carolina, I think it's South Carolina, or no, it's Mississippi State. They lose to Mississippi State in the swamp. And he takes the podium, and it's called The Promise. And he's just like, yeah, I played bad. And I have to play better. And I promise you that no one will practice harder than me, no one will play harder than me, no one will lead this team harder than me. Like, I promise you, we will be better. I promise you, this is the best thing that could have happened to us. Like, he gives this speech. It's like this very short speech, but it's basically Tim Tebow laying it all on the line, saying, I will lead us. And I will lead by example. No one will outwork me. No one will outplay me. I will give you everything I fucking have. Without saying the word fuck, because he's Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
And, like, I remember, like, watching that on ESPN and, like, almost standing up. Like, as a call to arms almost. Like, fuck. Like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And to hear him talk about, like in high school, he was that guy. And Urban Meyer's like, everybody told me I need to go watch this kid. And I went and I watched this kid, and I realized, yeah, he's that guy. I need to have him. I have to have this guy. Like, he's the key to my success. And, like, he talked about, like, my freshman year, like, there was a guy, if he was the alpha male of the team.
Yeah.
And he was a junior. And I'm a freshman. And if he did 10 reps, I did 12. If he did 20 pull-ups, I did 30.
Yeah.
Like, I was going to outwork that guy because he was the leader of the team, and I'm going to be the leader of the team. I have to be the alpha, so I have to outwork him.
Yeah.
And, like, people respected that. Like, people were like, look at this motherfucker. Like, you know, and, like, he didn't, like, like people made fun of him. Like, he didn't party. You know, he's Tim Tebow. He's the good Christian boy. Like, he didn't party. He didn't do drugs. He didn't drink. People would be at parties like, hey, is Tim coming? Like, Tim ain't fucking coming. Tim right now is either watching film or reading his playbook or reading his Bible. Yeah. One of those three things is going on right now. Like, you know, and that was the truth. Like, that's who Tim Tebow was. And, like, to hear him talk about it, like, to hear the other players talk about him, like, it was like, you know, man, we were going out till like 2, 3 in the morning. I'm coming home, and Tim's just waking up and going to work out.
Yeah.
You know, and it was like, you know, man, we need to, like, it was like that Kobe thing, like, maybe, man, we need to straighten our asses out.
Yeah.
You know, like, it was interesting. It was, like, there were aspects of it that were interesting, but there were other aspects of it where I was like, man, they kind of glanced over that and sugarcoated that, because there was some shit that went on with those teams, and you're just like, you know.
Yeah.
And they asked Urban Meyer, like, well, why didn't you, like, release players? And he's like, I released one kid. He got into trouble. I released him. He hit a woman. And a year later, he was dead. He's like, and that haunts me. He's like, so I decided, like, you know, I'm not going to just release players just because they get into trouble.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know, Urban. You know. A lot of shit went down when you were at Florida.
All right.
A lot of shit went down when you were at Ohio State.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you got yourself into some shit when you were coaching at Jacksonville. So,
yeah.
But it was interesting. I mean, it was like, again, if this is like your cup of tea, if this is something that you're interested in, by all means watch it.
Yeah.
I watched it just because I was interested in, like, I was interested in the Tim Tebow aspect of it. Like, what makes this guy tick?
Right.
Because, like, he wasn't good enough to be, like, he didn't have the skill set to be an NFL quarterback. But he had the skill set to be a leader of men.
Okay, I respect that.
You know what I mean? Like, in that aspect of it, it was like, I could see where, like, I don't think I would have wasted a first-round draft pick on Tim Tebow, but I could see where, like, if I could have picked him up in the 3rd round, like, man, that's tempting because maybe, just maybe, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But, like, at the end of the day, like, he had, like, that one magical moment against the Steelers in the playoffs, and
yeah, it was.
Yeah. But I respect the shit out of Tim Tebow.
What do you think about Pickett as a leader?
I think he's very interesting from the standpoint of,
I'm not on the Pickett bandwagon by any means.
Right.
Really.
No, I understand that. I am. I'll freely admit that.
Yeah, I'm not. But I'm just saying, what do you think about him as a leader?
I think from what I've seen, like, and what people have talked about with him, like, I think he's become that guy who knows what he has to do. Okay. Like I don't know if he's going to be ready to take that command where, like, he's on the sidelines, like, yelling at the offensive lineman or something. But at the same time, like, I think they respect him.
Okay.
Like, he works hard. He knows his shit. Like, his rookie year, he was, you know, he knew his shit. going into camp, it was like, yeah, he knew the playbook. He knew what he had to do. Like, he didn't act like, I should be the starter. He knew his role.
Yeah.
Until his role changed.
Yeah.
And even then, he didn't change. He was still that guy.
Okay.
But I think, like, stuff like... It's a different type of leadership, and it's an odd thing, and you're going to think this is weird, but, like him showing up at, like, a... Whatever, I don't know whose concert, like, there was some country concert. Like, him and the lineman went. He goes up on stage, and he shotguns a beer right on stage.
Nice.
Offensive linemen are going to be like, that's our boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that shit that an offensive lineman looks at and says, like, yeah, that's our boy.
Yeah.
Like, I go back to, like, Jim McMahon. Jim McMahon talked about, like, after a game, I sat with my offensive lineman, under the stadium in the parking garage. And we drank beers for, like, 3 hours. Like, that's... And the lineman, like, respected that from me.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, the quarterback wasn't above hanging out with the offensive line.
Right.
Like, the high-priced quarterback was like, yeah, I'll hang out with you boys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's where... Like, I don't think every quarterback has to do that, but I think in a way you have to find a way to... Because, like, if you're a quarterback, like, if you're Patrick Mahomes, if you're Jalen Hurts, if you're one of these top-tier guys...
Yeah.
Like, it's easy to, like, be like, I ain't hanging out with you people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you find out a way to, like, make that work and be one of the guys and still make $100 million, like, that goes a long way.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that offensive line may work a little bit harder to protect your ass as compared to that guy who's like, yeah.
Yeah. No, I get it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was just curious.
But also, I think, like in a way, like, times have changed a little bit. Maybe that same ingratiation comes like, hey, let's all play, Call of Duty together.
Yeah.
Let's all squad up.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, in my day, like, it literally was the quarterback being one of the guys. Like, but whatever that is,
right,
can change from generation to generation.
Sure.
But, like, I know a lot of, like, offensive linemen were like, yeah, Kenny being on stage shotgunning a beer, that's our boy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I think you'll find out what that leadership is as the season goes on, though.
Yeah, we'll see.
Like, that leadership can also just be being the calm in the storm.
Yeah.
I mean, there's that great story. Was it Super Bowl 24? 49ers Bengals. The 49ers are down. They're down in their own, I think, 18-yard line or something. They're huddling up, and the one offensive lineman's like, we got to do it, we got it. And he calms everybody down again, hey, is that John Candy in the stands? Like, Joe Montana was, like, so calm.
Yeah.
And he knew these guys, he's pointing out celebrities in the stands during a timeout and what would be the biggest drive of their lives.
Right.
But that's Joe Montana. And that got the rest of the team, like, locked in on him. Like, well, if he's calm, I'm calm. Let's get it done. Because Joe does not seem bothered.
Right.
So, like, I think, like, Kenny has a little bit of that, too. I think we saw it last year in the Oakland game and the Baltimore game where, like, being the calm in the storm can go a long way as well. It's not smacking helmets and firing people up. It's let's focus on what we've got to do.
Yeah.
Which
is important.
It is. It's very important.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. All right. Anything you'd like to add to the proceedings there, sir?
I'm good, sir.
All right. Well, remember there are a number of different ways you can reach out and touch us.
Hey.
You can send us an email. Like Thad. Let me get to this real quick because Thad badmouths us.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
He's not very happy with us, so let me pull this up real quick. He calls us fun suckers. If a happy clown walked past you two holding a balloon, the sucking of fun from you two would make him a sad clown once he passed with a limp balloon. You two are miserable grumps. Well, first off, if there was a clown walking past us, happy or sad, Ian would beat the fuck out of it, and I'd be right there as a J to his silent Bob, helping him out, because fuck clowns.
Yeah, fuck that, dude.
Fuck clowns.
Yes, I am fucking jaded right now.
Yeah.
Such is life.
Yeah.
This podcast has been doing this how many years?
10 years.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I'm okay to be jaded. Next.
He says Yahoo gave me an A+ for my draft, and we had our fantasy draft last week.
Yeah, no, I missed it.
Yeah, you did. No, you got a D, my friend. Like you had I think you were close to an F.
I know, and I missed it. The whole thing.
You got an A.
Okay.
Let me go back and look here real quick. It's an email folder. Yeah, view report card. Let me go down here. Yeah, you and Stork both got an A+ for your drafts.
Okay.
Both of you also were auto drafted.
Okay.
I got an A-. Chuck Harris's mustache got a B+, which I also believe was an auto draft. And then Jason's Fluffers got a C+. He actually drafted. Full Blown Beavers got a C-. She also drafted. The Fighting Sandusky's got a D+. So I'm wrong. You didn't get close to enough. But a D+. Otter and the Hobie Intern, both with a D. And Hello Jeff with a D-, who also all actually were in the draft. So if the computer drafted for you, you did well. If the computer didn't draft for you, you seem to have done poorly, except for me, which makes me nervous.
Okay.
So, and you were picked to finish 7th in the league, Thad, with a record of 6-9.
We'll see how that holds up.
Yeah, we'll see how that holds up. Indeed, I put 0 stock in this after I think I was like highly rated last year too, and that
fell through.
Shit the bed.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
So you can send us an email like Thad does to criticize us and tell us what awful people we are. That email address is pittsburghnerd@yahoo.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, or Mastodon. Just search Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast. We're very, very easy to find. And we are on a number of podcasting networks. You can find us on the Tangent Bound Network, the Weeby Geeks Network, and the Pod Breed Network. Just give them a Google search and you can find all the other great podcasts they have to offer. And lastly, as always, we want to thank you, dear listener, for taking the time to check us out each and every week. Can't thank you enough for your support. And on that note, the dreamer has awakened.
Peace.